Everybody good? Okay. This is another briefing of Bay County Emergency Operations Center for Hurricane Michael. We continue to be extremely concerned at the Emergency Operations Center that people are not taking this storm seriously and are not evacuating to the point where we are concerned that the aftermath of this storm is going to present with horrible, horrible life safety issues. This storm is practically a Category 4 forecast storm, meaning the forecast right now is that this storm is 1 mile an hour less than what it takes to become a Category 4 hurricane at landfall with the eye wall coming ashore in Bay County, Florida. Okay? Between Mexico Beach and Panama City Beach, the eye walls of this storm, east and west, are forecast for our county. This is the worst possible trajectory for a storm of this magnitude for a geography that there can be. We have shelters open. We want people to evacuate zones A, B, and C. We want them to do that for their own life safety. This is not about property anymore. This is about people saving their lives and getting out of harm's way. This storm surge will kill you. This wind will kill you at this point now because of the strength, the forecast of this storm. There is a window that is closing for people to evacuate this county. Friends, family, any place they can go to get out of the impact area is what they should be doing if they are in evacuation zone A, B, or C. This needs to be taken very seriously. I cannot stress that enough. Bozeman is at capacity. People should go to Northside for public sheltering. We will open more shelters as needed. Northside has room for people, so they need to go to Northside if that's what they're going to do, or they need to find friend, family, hotel, motel, if anything's still available, whatever they can do to get out of this impact area of the zones A, B, and C. It's going to be brutal for the rest of the county and our neighbors to the east and west, but this forecast is us. Very, very serious. Again, those are the zones we're concerned about because of storm surge, but this wind is going to be very, very hard to deal with anywhere in Bay County. There's going to come a time when the bridges will close. There's going to become a time when people are not going to be able to make the decision to leave. They're not going to have that option. They're not going to have law enforcement and fire, EMS to come help them. They are going to be at the mercy of this storm. So please, anybody that can hear me, all of our news media partners, please take this storm very, very seriously. Special needs is available at Northside. Any additional special needs persons that need to shelter locally can go to Northside. We've got that capability there. General population shelter at Merritt Brown Middle School is open at this point, so we've got Merritt Brown as well that people can go to. Please begin to put numbers in that shelter rather than stay in your home if you were in zone A, B, or C. And remember that if you've got the ability, shelters are not comfortable places, but we're talking about being in a shelter and living as opposed to some people staying at home and possibly perishing. So please take this seriously. Again, the citizen information number is 850-248-6090, and turn it over to Sheriff Ford now.
Good evening. Again, this is a very serious situation, and I'm concerned that there are people out there that are not taking this storm seriously. This is practically a 4 and could very well end up being a Category 4 when it hits landfall. We've got serious storm surge considerations that may be increasing as well. The time to leave is right now. It was actually yesterday, but right now is the time to leave. We are expecting tropical storm force winds sometime overnight and early morning hours. You know, at some point it's going to be too dangerous to cross the bridge. It's not about some time or some miles per hour that the bridge will close, it will be a time when it is absolutely too dangerous to cross, which means not being able to get off the island, not being able to get out of Bay County. So now is the time to do that. We've got shelters opening. As they reach capacity, additional shelters will be opening. So again, we urge you to evacuate now. We're working very hard with our partners at emergency management, the county, as well as the police chiefs and the police departments. We've got everybody on duty and will have for the duration of this event, but concerned about people's lives. Please make the right decision. Take your family to safety.
Let me add my voice to Sheriff Ford's and Chief Bowen's. The window is very narrow at this point. 4, maybe 5 hours max left to retreat from this storm. This is, for all intents and purposes, a Category 4 storm, the worst storm that anybody living in Bay County has seen in their lifetimes, with surges that are already at Cat 4 levels. So please, it's not fair to our law enforcement personnel, it's not fair to our National Guard and our first responders to stay home and put the risk on them to come and rescue you in these conditions, and it may not be possible. Please, I beg you, take advantage of the shelters, take advantage of the opportunity to get out of the A, B, and C flood zones, and that includes everything in Panama City Beach, everything. Thank you so much.
Any commissioners want to one thing that I also want to make clear is that when we talk about the first responders that you depend on every day to help you not being able to respond, that doesn't just stop and then start back up a couple of hours later. There is a duration to that. This hurricane will come upon us, and it will be here for such a length of time that it will simply be physically impossible for these people to get in a fire truck or a patrol car and an ambulance and even come to your home. The debris will be impossible to pass through the streets, the power lines. It becomes a scenario where a human being simply cannot travel through it, even in a fire truck that has, 10,000 gallons of water in it. So that's what you're dealing with, and there's a duration for that, and that duration can be 8, 9, 10 hours that you are going to be, if you're in one of these evacuation zones. You're not just going to be there for an hour or two. It's not just something that's going to come through and move past quickly. You're going to be there for what I have to imagine would seem like an eternity. So please, if you're in zone A, B, or C, if you don't know what zone you're in, find out, go to the website, put your address in, find out. If you don't know what zone you're in and you think you might be a zone, go to a public shelter or leave the impact area. Please do what you need to keep yourself safe. And that's all I have. Does anybody have anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you.